The Corral by Bill Ayers, performed by Jimmy Cross and Jim Lynch.
We're finally back at the German-American Festival.
God damn, it's good to be back. It's been too long.
Yeah, let's get some beer.
A pitcher of Dortmunder?
Of course! John and I pulled the red tickets out of our pockets and headed toward the Dortmunder tent. Lou called me right before I got here. She and Julie are on their way.
Good. Let's go get some beer and then we'll meet Brett at the Corral and take a tour.
The sun was starting to get lower in the sky. The fall Ohio air was still warm. The East Toledo Festival grounds were filling up with people. We could hear the polka band playing under the main tent. The white plastic dance floor was still empty. People were standing on the grass just outside the main tent, talking and holding red plastic cups filled with beer. We called this area the Corral. If we got divided during the festival by beer, women, taking a piss, as we always did sooner or later, we would meet up back at the Corral. It was our constant, our touchstone.
So, Julie says Lou is sweet on you.
Yeah, we've stayed in touch. Pitcher in hand with full red plastic cups of Dortmunder, we walked through the crowd towards the Corral, drinking and checking out the chicks.
That one's a silver medalist.
I'd do her twice if she was good.
Shit, I'd do her twice if she was bad, just to make sure.
We both chuckled and smiled, looking forward as we walked. We had said these lines hundreds of times. The Corral was fuller now. More people, more red plastic cups. Brett stood leaning against a thick gray aluminum pole, holding up the main tent.
Hey, Gishy, what's new?
Not much, it's all good. I nodded. I filled his cup from our pitcher.
Thanks, man, you rock!
Yeah, I know, I said, smiling, feeling warm, being back.
So, any prospects?
Maybe. Night's still young. I refilled John's cup and mine. We both drank. We stood looking over the Corral. The sky was now dark. Bright lights mounted on tall wooden poles lighted up the room, and the main tent and the thick green grass of the festival grounds around us. The cool air filled my nose when I breathed it in. The warmth of the German beer began to creep into me, around my head and into my body. I got a polka!
Yeah, go for it.
Yep, that one there in red. She's doable. I walked up to the woman, and I held my hand out palm up, not saying a word. She looked me in the eye, and I stood motionless, smiling at her. She wrapped her hand around mine. I turned and led her into the main tent, onto the white plastic dance floor, feeling her hand in mine and her heat sinking into me behind me. The polka band played on. We swirled. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, next to one another. My name is Walt.
My name is Brenda.
Nice to meet you too. We twirl faster. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Closer to one another, we held on to each other so we wouldn't fly apart. The band played louder. I held her even closer. My heart pounded with the music. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The polka picked us up and swung us around. I smiled at her. She smiled at me, swirling. Her body got hot against my hand on the small of her back. Sweat began to build up on my brow.
Julie says Lou is sweet on you.
The song ended.
Thank you.
She smiled, turned, and walked back to her friends. I walked back to the Corral. Ted was now standing next to John and Brett.
Oh man, it's the Wanderer.
I smiled, liking the nickname. Or Walt, whatever you prefer.
That chick you were dancing with was cute.
Yeah, seen better. Done worse.
Julie and Lou should be here anytime.
Let's get another picture before they get here. Later that night, Lou was beside me in my bed. The big smile was on her face, and her eyes were wide and bright.
Can we do it again?
Well, takes a little while for guys to recoup.
That was awesome. I think I'm gonna like this sex thing.
Good. I thought you might.
Are you ready yet?
No, it takes a bit longer than that. The sound of the TV downstairs came up through the wooden floor. It was dark outside. The window was steamed and just starting to frost. It was going to be cold overnight. I held her in my arms, feeling smug and empty and warm and calm, planning my escape. The inevitable escape that had to come with each connection, each giving away a piece of me. Each time I killed a part of me to get something else more desperate, more urgent, more immediate.
Are you ready yet?
Almost. Cuddle me for a bit?